welcome back. So we are talking about Wi-Fi and how to make it go through walls, right? Not that simple. So placing a Wi-Fi router is key. For example, if you have a bigger house, I always recommend you keep it in the middle of the house at a higher location, not on the floor. Sometimes I've seen people, router is just lying on the floor. No, keep it at a higher location and make sure you buy a Wi-Fi router rather than using the one that your provider gives you, because as all the time I've seen that's the weakest point in your link, the router they have given. Buy something. When you're buying a router, the standard I would recommend is 802.11n, and make sure it's a dual band router. When I say dual band, earlier segment I told you there's 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. 2.4 gigahertz in most cases is congested and slower, but if you get 5 gigahertz, it's not congested as much because a lot of people don't have it as yet, and then it's fast as well. But again, keep in mind, the higher the frequency, less prone to go through walls. So better to have 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So when you have the signal strength, it will give you the best speed around 600 megabits a second if you get an N router. And on an average, if you have a router that is B and G, get rid of it. That's slow and that's about 20 megabits a second. And more devices you have, the slower your Wi-Fi network gets. Especially with the consumer routers, you can have around 5 devices. After that, it's going to lose signals, it's going to slow down, it's going to do a lot of weird things. And please make sure you put a Wi-Fi password, otherwise you will give your Wi-Fi access to your neighbors. And make sure it's WPA2. The encryption standard should be WPA2 AES. Make sure you set it up. Make sure you put a somewhat of a difficult password there as well. Like we spoke about password in our previous segments. Just make sure that password is not easy to guess. And you only need to set it up once, right? Once you set it up, you don't need to enter the password over and over again. If you have a habit of forgetting this password, write it on the bottom of the router itself, right? Put it on a sticky note, keep it there. When you forget, just go and read the password. What I normally do is I take a photograph and keep it. So when I have it on my phone, I just go through the photograph and I see the password. So going through the walls are the difficult part. So you can have that app I told you about, Wi-Fi analyzer on your phone. Just go around the house and see what the signal strength is like. Provided it's on a green level, you're fine. Basically, you're at least getting coverage. It won't drop out. But if you come to a point where you don't have it on the green and it come into the yellow line, you can put another route actually and set it up as a repeater. So what this does is, it will pick up the signal, it will repeat it again. So if you strategically place those routers, so for example, is one on your ground floor, one on your upstairs, that will marvelously cover most of the houses, right? If it's a dual band 3 antenna router, it might do very well. So if you still have difficulty, for example, you have it on your ground floor but not on your upstairs, you can run a cable as well. So from that router, you can have a cable running to the other router, which would act as a repeater, and again will repeat the signals. So nowadays we get TVs Wi-Fi connected, your iPad, your tablet, and then you have a lot of devices that get connected to your Wi-Fi network. You might not even know you have like 10 different devices that actually connect to that router. So when you have these cheaper routers, what happens is, this tend to give issues, even though you're at that point you was only using one device, but all these devices are already connected to it. So investing on a good Wi-Fi router is a must if you are depending on Wi-Fi. So you might be blaming an internet service provider, you might be blaming your internet connection. It ultimately be your Wi-Fi that bottlenecking everything. And I think when
Kalinga, like if you can wait few more months, I think Google is coming up with their own new Wi-Fi router.
Yeah.
So this has the capability of like deciding where you should place it.
Yeah.
And like it has even the capability of Kalinga running multiple devices at the same time. So say if you are moving from a room to another room, then it will automatically like seamlessly transfer you from one router to the other.
Yeah.
So this comes up with an app also.
Yeah.
So say your kids are in room with a device, and from your app you can like turn off the device from the kids room, so it might be easier for your kids to call for lunch or something.
Yeah, and but it won't be cheap, right?
Yeah, it won't be, I think.
Again, when we're talking about kids, if you have kids at home, most of the routers do have the parent control. So basically, you can put your kids' devices. If you have a somewhat of a good router, when I say a good router, I'm talking about 10,000 rupee worth of a router. You can actually set up the MAC address of those devices to only allow them to be connected on a given time frame. You know, they can only connect during 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., something like that. You can still have your devices connected, but you can restrict your kids, control them if you want to. And it's not that difficult nowadays for someone to configure one of these routers, because it's all on a web page where you connect your router, it shows everything, and it's quite simple.
If something goes wrong, just reset and do it from the beginning, right?
So with that, Tilina, I think we can use Wi-Fi. A lot of people doesn't know Wi-Fi access points that you place at your home is actually used by devices for GPS locationing as well. That's AGPS is another failback that depends on Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi is everywhere now. So you have when you go to a cafe, it's there. When you go to like even on buses now you get Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So those Wi-Fi access point acts as GPS location finders as well, because that helps them to triangulate, give better accurate reading when you're especially inside buildings, because you don't get GPS satellites there. I think that's it for today. I think thank you so much for all the feedback you guys have given us. That helped us a lot. And please go to Art TV Facebook page and Art TV YouTube channel and subscribe, and send us your feedback, leave comments, and let us know what you think. And we are more than happy to do anything you like. And if you have any questions, just send it to us, and we'll be glad to answer those questions. So see you next week. Thank you.